Very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Fight Week in East London. Weigh-in time here from Stratford, of course, tomorrow night in the main event from the Copper Box Arena. George Liddard versus Dario Morello for the European middleweight title, live right here, only on DAZN.
I'm a man on a mission, and I will not let anyone stop me from getting what I'm going to get. I will not be denied.
What a shot from Liddard! Good! Too slick, too good.
I'm going to say it now, we have a superstar in the making here. Tiah-Mai Ayton. Oh, big right hand again, the overhand. Oh, right hand shot from Sains. Jimmy Sains, the English and Commonwealth silver champion.
This one for him.
Oh, look at that! Something happens again, and Leli Buttigieg.
This is aura of confidence that I feel like I just possess, and there is not a man alive sitting opposite me that I don't believe that I can beat.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here today to London, England for the official weigh-in for a big night of world-class professional boxing taking place tomorrow night at the Copper Box Arena here in London, England. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored on the night by Betfred, Events 365, Drip, North Defense, Fuel Hub, That Prize Guy, the 10% Club, and Riyadh Season. And ladies and gentlemen, all the action will go out live around the world exclusively on DAZN. We've got a great fight card, 8 fights on the card, and at the top of the bill, it's the European middleweight strap on the line. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the fighters up to the stage so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first contest, 6 rounds in the middleweight division. Now making his way to the stage from Mar del Plata, Argentina. Please welcome Carlos Miguel Roner. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His young professional record perfect, 1-0, 1 knockout, fighting out of Whiz Beach. Please welcome Harley Burroughs. Now to the scale, Carlos Miguel Roner. 165.6 for Roner. Now to the scale, Harley Burroughs. 164.6 for Burroughs.
Yeah, opening the action tomorrow night is Harley Burroughs, the 5-time national champion, 23 knockouts from his 50 wins in the amateurs, now 1-0 as a professional, banked 4 rounds on his professional debut in May against Lewis Howes, and has linked up with a man on the stage, Stephen Smith, in Liverpool for fight number 2. More relaxed this week, perhaps. Admitted he was maybe slightly overconfident and over-eager to impress on the debut. Measured and destructive, the plan tomorrow night for the 20-year-old.
Burroughs versus Roner, 6 rounds middleweights, Matchroom Boxing live on DAZN from London, England.
Yep, 5 p.m. Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channels at the Copper Box Arena. Fight number 2 for Harley Burroughs. And fight 2 on prelim sees the return of one half of the Croft twins as well, back on the stage to our MC, Mr. David Diamante.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Our next contest, 8 rounds middleweights. Let's get it going. Now making his way to the stage, professional record 13-11 and 1-3 knockouts. He fights out of Barcelona, Tomás Reynoso. Reynoso. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, young professional record perfect, 6-0, 3 knockouts. He fights out of Crimmage, Wales, Johan Croft. Croft. Now making his way to the scale, Tomás Reynoso. .163 bang on for Reynoso. Now to the scale, Johan Croft. 161.6 for Croft. 161.6.
Here we go then. Second fight on prelims and second official fight under the Matchroom banner for Johan Croft. 6-0 now, and his second scheduled 8-rounder. Thomas Reynoso, the opponent, experienced operator, been in with some solid names over the years, the likes of Jack Cullen and Michael Zarafa as well. Southpaw Johan back in action tomorrow night from the Copper Box. On prelims, of course, as always, live on Matchroom and the Zone YouTube channels. 4 fights make up that prelim complement before we go live to the Zone at the usual time of 7 p.m.
Croft versus Reynoso, 8 rounds middleweights Matchroom boxing live on the Zone from London, England.
And fight number 3 on prelims is professional fight number 3 for 22-year-old Louis Ward. Back now to David Diamante on stage.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Our next contest, 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 16 victories, 12 defeats, 5 draws with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Peleando desde Bilbao, Spain, please welcome John Tornado Martinez. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, young professional record, perfect 2-0, fighting out of Thazen Boys in Essex, Louis Ward. Now to scale, John Tornado Martinez. $134.4 for Tornado. John Martinez. Now the scale, Louis Ward. $133, bang on for Louis Ward, 133.
Celebrated his birthday yesterday, did Louis Ward of Thaden Boys in Essex. 4 rounds banked on 2 occasions so far since turning over with Matchroom in March of this year at the Copper Box, where he will return tomorrow night for his first scheduled 6-rounder. Trained by the man on stage beside him there, John Ryder, in Tony Sims' gym in Brentwood. 3-time national champion as an amateur. Then with the experienced John Martinez of Bilbao, Spain, tomorrow night.
Ward versus Martinez, 6-round super featherweights, Matchroom boxing live on the Zone from London, England.
Yeah, look forward to seeing Louis Ward after his first stoppage, he says, tomorrow night on prelims. And concluding the prelims beside the London Stadium tomorrow, the home, of course, of West Ham United, is the Hammer, Connor Mitchell. Back on stage to David Diamante.
We continue with a full round featherweight contest. Now making his way to the stage, professional record 4-9-2, fighting out of Middlesbrough. Please welcome Kane Singh. His opponent 3-0, 2 knockouts. He fights out of Essex, Connor Mitchell. Now to the scale, Kane Singh. $129.6 for Singh, 129.6 for Singh. Now to the scale, Connor Mitchell. $129.4 for Mitchell. 129.4.
Yep, 3-0. Now the 2-time amateur national champion won the Senior Elite ABAs and Haringey Box Cup. Last year, the big punching right-handed southpaw. Spectacular first round KO last time out in June after another destructive performance tomorrow against Kane Singh, who's been in there with the likes of Alfie Middlemiss, William Birchall too, as always.
Mitchell v. Singh, 4 rounds, featherweights, Matchroom boxing live on the Zone from London, England.
Yeah, as always, a good measuring stick for these young fighters. Mitchell versus Singh, concludes prelims tomorrow night, and that will lead us in nicely to the first title fight of the night and first live fight on the DAZN broadcast. Back on stage to David.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-in continues right now. We're going to do 10 rounds for the vacant Commonwealth Featherweight Championship. Making her way to the stage this time, a professional record, 8 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. She fights out of Doncaster. Ladies and gentlemen, Leli Hellwell. Hellwell. And her opponent now making her way to the stage. Undefeated professional record, 6-0. 5 of her 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former amateur world champion and 5-time national champion fighting out of Bristol. Please welcome Tiah-Mai Ayton. Ayton. Out of the scale, Leli Hellwell. $125.6 for Leli Hellwell, 125.6. Now to the scale, the undefeated Tiah-Mai Ayton. Also the same, 125.6 for Tiah-Mai Ayton, 125.6.
Yeah, big moment. This could be indeed the start of something very special for Tiah-Mai Ayton, who celebrates her 20th birthday today and fights for her first professional title tomorrow night, the Commonwealth Featherweight title, against the former challenger of the same belt down at Super Bantamweight in Leli Hellwell. Hellwell, 26-year-old southpaw, says it's too far, too soon for Tiah, who responded in a way you'd expect a fighter that Katie Taylor says is the future face of the sport to respond. Predicting the stoppage and says she could win a world title tomorrow, but first it's the Commonwealth Featherweight title, the first title opportunity for Tiah Ayton. Big dreams to be undisputed. The journey perhaps to the top of the sport, begins tomorrow night in East London.
Tiah-Mai Ayton, Leli Hellwell, 10 rounds for the vacant Commonwealth Featherweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing live on DAZN from London, England.
Yep. Ayton versus Hellwell opens the broadcast live on the global home of the sport, DAZN, from 7 p.m. tomorrow night. The first of 4 title fights on the main portion of the card tomorrow. More domestic title action, of course, then will follow. Back to David.
Oh, man, love this fight. 12 rounds for the vacant Commonwealth Middleweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage. 15-1, 4 knockouts. He fights out of Newark in Nottinghamshire. Please welcome Tom Cowling. Cowling. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. He is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with a record of 12 victories and no defeats. 10 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated former Southern Area and English middleweight champion fighting out of Brentwood, Essex, England, Jimmy Sains. Sains. Now the scale, Tom Cowling. $159.6 for Tom Cowling, 159.6. And now the undefeated Jimmy Sains. $159.5 for Jimmy Sains, 159.5.
Yeah, I love this matchup for the Commonwealth title once again, this time in the men's middleweight division. Jimmy Sains 12-0. This is first scheduled for the full 12-round distance. Banked the 10 rounds last time out against Eric Asaze in a hard, close fight, which he'd have learnt a lot from. Says he'll bounce back to his best tomorrow against the Tom Cowling, who has had a bit of time out the ring after beating Aaron Bowen in a thriller on a Matchroom show in Birmingham last year, and arrives in London looking to cause the upset once again, and against another unbeaten Matchroom prospect. says it's always been a dream of his to win a major domestic title, and now is his chance. Sains, of course, stablemate of Liddard, looking to move up the domestic ladder tomorrow night, having already captured the southern area and English titles in those 12 fights. Both expecting this one to gel stylistically and catch fire.
Jimmy Sains, Tom Cowling, 12 rounds for the vacant Commonwealth Middleweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing live on DAZN from London, England.
Yeah, really good fight, that one. Jimmy Sains versus Tom Cowling. That Commonwealth middleweight title, of course, formerly held by George Liddard. One half of the main event tomorrow night. Sticking with the middleweights in the chief support, let's head back to the stage and back to David Diamante.
All right, thank you, Jamie. And ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in the chief support of the evening as we go 10 rounds for the vacant English middleweight championship. We got two undefeated fighters. Right now making his way to the stage, professional record, 9-0, 1 knockout. He's the undefeated former Southern Area middleweight champion, fighting out of Harwich in Essex. Please welcome Paul "The Muffin" Gordon. Gordon. And his opponent now making his way to the stage, also undefeated, 12-0, 4 knockouts. He fights out of Bow in East London. Please welcome the Maltese monster, Leli Buttigieg. Buttigieg. Now welcome to the scale, Paul "The Muffin" Gordon. $159.1 for Paul "The Muffin" Gordon, 159.1. Now to the scale, the undefeated Maltese monster, Leli Buttigieg. $159.4 for Leli Buttigieg, 159.4.
Another good matchup this for the English middleweight title within a bustling 160 pounds domestic division. All the fighters moving at their own pace, but undoubtedly all aware one day they'll likely meet. Firstly though, for 21-year-old Leli Buttigieg from here in East London, a nice local one for him tomorrow night. Came through a fight of sheer drama, didn't he, against Jake Goodwin earlier this year, finding the 9th round stoppage when he needed it. Paul P.A. Gordon unbeaten, 9-0 for this his acid test, also tomorrow night live on DAZN in the chief support.
Buttigieg versus Gordon, 10 rounds for the vacant English middleweight championship. Matchroom Boxing live on DAZN from London, England.
Speaking to both earlier this week, been matched tough since the start. Leli Buttigieg believes this is just the start for him. Paul P.A. Gordon has real passion for this sport and just wants to see where he can go on a journey he loves in a sport he absolutely loves. 10 rounds. That one for the English middleweight title, of course, the prize. And main event next to hit the scales. Back for one final time to David.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here today to London, England for the official weigh-in for a big night of world-class professional boxing taking place tomorrow night at the Copper Box Arena. And it's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening, as Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 12 rounds for the vacant European Middleweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 26 victories, 1 defeat, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Bergamo, Lombardia, Italia. Please welcome the reigning Italian middleweight champion, Dario Spartan Morello. Morello. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. He is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with a record of 14 victories, no defeats, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He's world ranked by all 4 major sanctioning bodies. This top 10 world contender hails from Billericay, Essex, England. Please welcome the undefeated British and former Commonwealth middleweight champion known as the Billericay Bomber, George Liddard. Now to the scale, Dario Spartan Morello. $159.3 for Dario Spartan Morello, 159.3. And now to the scale, the undefeated Billericay Bomber, George Liddard. $159.8 for George Liddard, 159.8.
There we have a fight. The Billericay Bomber George Liddard versus Dario Morello. Both brought the energy yesterday. Morello says George is full of fake confidence, and he'll see it in his eyes in the ring tomorrow night. Liddard, of course, laughed off these claims and says he will show tomorrow live on DAZN once again in the main event when he becomes European champion in 15 fights and in knockout fashion. That's the prediction. He'll show us all that he absolutely belongs at the top table at 160 pounds. Liddard versus Morello, European middleweight title, 12 rounds tomorrow night, live on DAZN.
George Liddard versus Dario Morello. 12 rounds for the European Middleweight Championship main event tomorrow night. Matchroom Boxing and live on DAZN from London, England.
We're just going to try and grab Dario. Dario, just on this camera here, we'll just grab a final word with yourself. Weight made. What was going through your mind in that final face-off there with George Liddard?
We are more motivated than yesterday. The time is come, and we won all the smoke.
And what are you willing to do, Dario, to take that belt tomorrow night back home to Italy?
First of all, I have to drink and eat. After that, I can fight against a lion. So I don't care. I don't care about George Liddard.
Final prediction. How do you beat George Liddard tomorrow night?
Me on point.
Okay, love it. Dario Morello, best of luck to you tomorrow night, one half of tomorrow's main event. Let's grab a word with the other half, the Billericay Bomber, George Liddard. George, we're watching you. You've enjoyed everything, I think, that comes with these weeks now. Weight made, one day away. How are you feeling?
I feel amazing. Listen, he's going to be in there with more than one line tomorrow. I'm like 3 lines put together, boy. Let me tell you that. So he's going to find out the hard way. He says about motivation, no one's more motivated than me for this. I've got more than just me fighting for now. I can't wait, man. Let's get it.
Similar question to you, but what are you willing to do to make sure that European title comes home to Billericay tomorrow night?
Everything necessary. I will go to every depth to get the win. But listen, I'm going to do it in style tomorrow night. Watch.
You say style, he's predicting he wins the belt on points. What do you see in your mind just one final time?
He shades his tune just looking at me by the sounds of it, because he weren't saying that will build up. But listen, I've stuck to my guns the whole way through. I'm going to stop Dario Morello tomorrow night.
Top man, George, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow night. Thank you very much. We'll grab a final word with Frank Smith as well. Frank, we talked about this yesterday, but he seems to really be revelling every time now he's under the spotlight, George Liddard. In terms of a fight, in terms of a move forward in his career, do you believe this has all come at the perfect time?
100%. He's a big character, isn't he, George? And he's showing that week in, week out. And he's going into fights where people, I remember the Kieran Conway fight, people saying, is this too soon for him? And he went in there, the performance he gave there, then the Tyler Denny fight. He's showing every time he's stepping up the levels, this time for the European belt. That looks like it's going back to Billericay, doesn't it?
In terms
of the first European belt in Billericay.
In terms of, we'll have to fact check that one. In terms of the roadmap, look, full focus on Dario Morello, who's got big plans of his own here tomorrow night. But it's a question for you, it's a question for Eddie, away from the fighters when they've got business to take care of. Where do you see him potentially moving forward, all going well for your man tomorrow night?
Look, as I said yesterday, the winning the European title puts him up those governing body rankings, sets him up then for those eliminator fights, the final eliminators. And I don't see a reason why towards the end of next year he won't be fighting for a world title. The other thing, he wants the big names. He wants big British names as well. And we've seen that. We've been trying to make the biggest fights. He's ready. He wants to move as quickly as possible. And that's what we want to see. So he's got all the opportunity there. He's got to get to. He won't be looking past Saturday night. That's our job, obviously, to do. But, there's big fights to be made next year, and those world titles aren't far away.
Big fights on the card for plenty of the Matchroom stable. Also, massive opportunity for them to pick up their first titles. A word on Tiah-Mai Ayton. It's her birthday today as well, so many happy returns to Tiah. But just 20 years old, big dreams to be undisputed, reach the top of the sport. Do you believe tomorrow night could be the start of something special?
100%. I think you've already seen the start of something special. People love her. She's so engaging. She's growing in confidence. She'll be a bit annoyed she won her first title at 20, not 19 years old. But she got a tough test. Moving up 10 rounds for the first time. But she's going to put a big performance in there, and she can really rule not just female boxing, but be a ruler of boxing for years to come.
Love Jimmy Sains against Tom Cowling. Expecting that one to catch fire quite early, I think.
100%. Jimmy Sains would want to go out there and look to impress. Tom Cowling obviously had that great fight against Aaron Bowen, and we know what to expect from him. It's going to be a real fight between those two. Leli as well. Leli, every time he fights, he brings entertainment. Can't wait for that one. And then the whole host of talent, young talent on the before the bell undercard. As I said yesterday, when you look at the ages of all these fighters who are headlining cards, high up the cards on these events, it's quite amazing to see. I don't think on the A side anyone's really over 23 years old.
Yeah, young average age, of course.
It's
Certainly.
insane. But it's a great time for boxing, and we're seeing all these stars come through and push themselves.
Yep, so much to look forward to tomorrow night then from here in East London. The Copper Box Arena, 5 p.m. for all the prelim action. Of course, live as always, free to air Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channels before we cross live. 4 title fights to look forward to on the global home of the sport, DAZN. Culminating, of course, in that European middleweight title collision between the Billerica bomber George Liddard and Dario Morello. Thanks for Frank Smith. Thanks to myself as well. I don't know if that makes sense.
Cheers,
but I'm
I
going to thank
appreciate
myself
it.
anyway.
Thanks,
We'll see you tomorrow night live on DAZN.
I'm a man on a mission, and I will not let anyone stop me from getting what I'm going to get. I will not be denied.
What a shot from Liddard! Good! Too slick, too good.
I'm going to say it now. We have a superstar in the making here. Tiah-Mai Ayton.
Oh, big right hand. Again, the overhand.
Oh, right
lovely
hand.
shot from Sains. Jimmy Sains, the English